La da 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 dee. You're not breaking me. La dee da da da.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Collegiate Christians. We have the Macahl Jett here with us today. I'm so excited to interview her. She is definitely on her grind, beautiful young woman out there doing her things. So I'm excited for you guys to get to know her and learn about her testimony today. If you don't mind just sharing a little bit about yourself.
Oh yeah, well, like she said, my name is Macahl. I'm a musician, specifically a singer. I'm 19 years old and I attend a college. I attend the University of North Texas, and I am a Christian. So today we're going to just be talking about what I go through, I guess, as a Christian college student and doing everything that I do.
Okay, so what year are you right now?
Right now I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore. Okay, what's your major?
Public relations.
What you want to do with that?
Okay, so the thing with public relations is I wanted to be a PR major after Chris Brown's whole incident.
Okay.
And I was just like, I just don't like how everyone just tainted his image.
Right.
Yeah. Everyone messes up, you know? And so I was just like, I think he needs a better PR person so he can get back on the right track.
Right.
So that's what gave me really the passion.
And that PR was you, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
That makes sense. So, okay, what is your involvement right now at UNT?
On campus? Well, I'm a part of the African Student Organization, and I'm not African, but I just really like everything they do.
Right. You're pretty much African by association.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm also a part of UNT Live.
Okay.
And I also work at Mozart Square, which is a dormitory hall. So I do a lot with the dormitory stuff.
Okay. That's cool. So if you could just tell me a little bit about your music career and how that started, because I know you were kind of young. Well, just from looking at your videos and stuff, I could tell you were pretty young. So how did that get started for you?
Okay, well, I started actually going to the studio to record when I was in 7th grade.
Wow.
And at the time when I was in 7th grade, I thought I was too old to begin recording. Because I know so many artists who's actually made it in the industry.
Right.
They start recording at 6 years old.
Right.
They're just born into this. But I performed a song for my dad, and he was like, "You didn't write that?" And I was like, "Dad, I wrote this." He was like, "All right, it's time to get you in the studio."
Right.
And I was like, "Finally."
That's cool.
So that happened. I did a song, put it on YouTube. And then I just started growing into that, and I've been doing it ever since.
That is cool. So your parents have really been backing you for all of that?
Yeah, my parents are big supporters of my dreams.
Yeah, I be creeping on your little Instagram thing. That's good though that you have that support system, because everybody doesn't really have that.
Yeah.
Right. So that's really good. So what have you been doing as far as building your gift, and because I just feel like you really have branded yourself pretty well. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's just you're branding yourself. What's been the thing that's feeding into that? Is there classes you took? Are you under management, mentorship? What is that that's kind of been pushing you?
I do have a vocal coach. Her name's Regina Hearn in Houston. I worked with her and also with the lady named Tony as well.
Okay.
So I was definitely trained to sing. And after that I got with a group called Key Innovations Music School in Houston, Texas, and they really teach you how to be a performer and how to really live in the music industry.
Okay.
And I met my friend Normani Hamilton, also known as Normani Corday. Okay. And she's a part of the group Fifth Harmony.
Oh.
She's the black girl in the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was the black girl. Okay, got it.
Yeah. And so after seeing, because I knew her before she did one of the X Factor. Right. So it was oh my gosh, you can actually do this. So really having friends who made it, her and Josh Levi, he was on the season after her.
Oh, okay.
So really having friends make it, I was just okay, then it's obviously possible for me to do it.
Right. So what made you go the school route instead of just auditioning for stuff or
just
anything like
going
that?
into the music industry? Well, I'm a big believer that education is very important, very important.
Right.
And my mom also instilled that in me as well. And she was like, well, if you want to do music, that's okay, but you need to make sure that you have your college degree.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
And I really enjoy college as well because I feel like I've built so many other relationships.
Right, because of it, yeah, getting that whole experience. So how do you balance both right now, still feeding into your singing career and school?
It's really hard to say that I actually balance it.
Right.
But I just try to keep I have a busy schedule. I have to make sure I write down everything.
Right.
No matter where I'm at, I will have my agenda on me and say, okay, well, I have to do this right now. And I try to leave my weekends open for anything music related. And the time that I'm not doing schoolwork, I try to leave that open too for music.
Gotcha. So what's your inspiration behind music?
As in, like, just in
Cause
general.
do you write most of your stuff?
Yeah.
So is it like stuff that you're actually going through? That's kind of like your therapy or something?
Well, my first project that I did, it was entitled Hashtag, and a lot of songs off of there was from my high school experience, I would say, because that whole thing was like written about my high school life. And so that was definitely based off of my own life. And sometimes I write music based off of what I see from other people as well, and just something that I feel like needs to be talked about. I try to always like have a message behind what I'm singing, and I just sing anything.
So what's your like most recent single that you like feel has like a strong message behind it?
Well, the strongest message, that's really hard to say because
probably like all of them.
I was like, they all have really good messages.
Right.
But I really do like Hashtag only because social media is such a big issue in our community of like teenagers. And the song is really trying to like talk about you don't have to be like everyone else.
Right.
You can really be yourself.
Make your own hashtag.
Yeah, you can just make your
I
own
like
hashtag.
it. I like it. I never even thought that was what it was about, but that makes sense now. Okay. So as far as digging deep into the Christian side of it, how has that played a role in just who you are as a person?
As a person, well, I never curse in like any of my music, and I try to stay away from that route because I am a Christian and I have certain morals that you know. But being Christian involving music as well, it can be really hard because there's so many other people, especially as a singer, so many other people who want me like on their projects and want me to say certain things on the projects, and it can be hard because they can be offering you like a lot of money or big opportunities, but you have to turn it down because you're just like, it's not what I believe in. And it can get really hard, I'm not even gonna lie.
Right. So how I guess just kind of going back on like the history of your relationship with God, where did that start from? And like knowing him for yourself, like truly having a relationship with him.
Well, I've always been a church girl since I was a little kid, and then when I got into high school, that's when I really stopped going to church a lot. We were really far away from our home church, and then other stuff happened, and I didn't find a church, and so I kind of lost God, but in a sense, I never really had him because I never really knew him for myself, and it was in that moment where I didn't really know who he was, and I felt so empty that I kind of like found him, and it was not easy at all because I used to have like really bad depression in high school. And so, like, my senior year, I remember finding a church called Windsor Village in Houston, and I loved it. Like, I loved the teen program. And I just kept going there. And I would still have, like, my depressing times. But I just kept going to church. And then I was just like, God, who are you? Asking all these questions. And so one church service, I had joined the church. And then after joining, I became part of their prayer ministry. So we had, like, this event for the teens before our tax testing. So we would pray over our text. And I remember my leader, my mentor, she was just like, you know, I hear God saying ask for anything and he will deliver it. So I'm thinking, ask for anything? Like, really? Like he's really gonna do it. So I was like, okay. So then I asked God to take away like my depression. And I remember I prayed with all of my heart and I started crying and I was like, please, I don't want to feel this way anymore. And that's the first moment that I believed that he could actually do what he said he could do. Like I felt like I had the faith that it was going to happen. And literally ever since I prayed for that, I've never had a depressing time again.
Wow.
So that really grew my faith in Christ. And even when it like creeps up on you, you know, because sometimes things can happen, you know.
Yeah.
I still remember like his word, and just building the word and really remembering the scriptures has really helped me so much.
That's good. So how, since coming to college, how have you maintained that relationship with God?
I would say college has actually like strengthened my relationship with him, because I don't have anybody to lean on, like my parents to call up.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much like, he's really the only person you can call up when you're lonely. And personally, I try to find a church that I could go to so that I could still, you know, be in his word daily. And right now I'm like fasting and stuff, so I fast and pray often.
Okay. What are you fasting from?
Well, right now I'm fasting because I need to change some things about my attitude.
Okay. That's what I'm like. I'm on the fast too right now. I'm on my prayer fast. So that's good. That's good. So, as far as like you speaking about depression, like what advice would you give to a younger Macahl or a student that is dealing with depression now? Because I don't think a lot of people realize how what's the word, just common that is. Because I experienced depression my freshman year in college, and I didn't realize until after the fact, like that was depression, like you was in that thing, girl. So like what would you say to somebody who's struggling with that?
I would say, please realize that there's so many other people who are also struggling with depression, and there are people who have struggled with depression. So speak up and talk to somebody, anybody, your close friend, your mom, you know, anyone who you trust, because I'm pretty sure they either know somebody or they themselves have like experienced the same thing. That was something I struggled with. I thought I was going crazy, because I was like, I have to be the only one who's ever experienced this in my life. And just like getting over it and opening up to people about it. They say the same exact thing, and I'm just like, wow. And if I could have
nothing but the enemy.
Exactly. If I would have told somebody beforehand, I probably would have been able to get over it earlier.
Yeah, way quicker. Right. That makes sense. So what has been your like motivation just to like push to, you know, reach your goals and do better and just be involved as much as you are? What's that thing that's just driving you to do all those things?
I do believe every individual has a purpose, and if you have a dream, you should really just go full forth and just try to accomplish that dream, because we only have so much time on earth. So you should really just stay focused on what makes you happy and like what gives you the joy that you desire. Because I don't want to just be a regular person, you know, and just always saying, well, I could have done it, and never have done it.
Didn't take advantage of that opportunity. That makes sense. Okay. And like for just fun girl talk, so how do you deal with like relationships and dating and all that stuff while still staying focused on your goal? Because most girls, I get distracted, you know, I'll start talking to him or the other one, and I forget, like, okay, Dom, you need to be still doing school and doing that or whatever. So how do you balance that?
I think that's really why I'm not in a relationship right now, because I do get attached, like whenever I talk to a guy or something like that. So, I mean, right now I really have no choice but to focus on school, because there hasn't been that special someone who's come into my life. And I also think that, you know, God's really growing me to make sure that I'm prepared for a real relationship, because I don't want to just get into something and then it's a situationship. And it's just like, now I gotta go through this again.
That's my man, but not really my man.
Exactly. It's like, you can't even post a picture on Twitter. Because y'all don't claim each other.
A lot of people got that situation.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, anything else you want to share?
I would just say, you know, if you're a college student right now and you're not really sure if Jesus is the right choice for you because you want to like live your life, I guess, and have fun, you can still have fun while being a Christian. Because I still go out, I still go to parties. There are just certain things that I know I can't do. Like, for instance, I don't drink because that's just something that I personally don't choose to do. And if I did decide to drink, which is okay if you do drink, you know, don't drink to get drunk. So just be smart in the decisions you make, but know that you can still have fun and be a college student while serving Christ.
Yes, amen. Okay, so as far as them finding more information on your singing and stuff, where can they find that?
You can go to my website at macahljett.com. Also follow me on social media at Macahl Jett Music.
Cool. Thank you so much, Macahl. And that is it for today. I will catch you guys at our next interview. Be blessed. Love, Dama.